Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Well, we're back down in the garage. This is where this little channel started. And if you don't recognize it, well, let me show you what it looked like just about 3 months ago. Yeah, so a little bit of a change, and there's a video on that on my other channel. If you want to check that out, I'd appreciate it. Farpoint Farms Restorations and Repairs. We get into all kinds of automotive stuff, which I used to do here on the main channel. But I'm really proud. I did a big garage rehab. Anyway, that's not the point of today's video, but the throwback portion is, I was talking with Johnny Jones at home, and he was telling me that he watches my cooking videos because it's more about me than it is about, the video. And it got me to thinking about how much has changed in the 12 years that I've been uploading on this channel, and on the 18 years I've been uploading on YouTube now. A lot has changed, especially in the last 3 years. And I do feel like what Johnny was saying was things just feel impersonal now. Things, we just get right to the point. And he's right. I got rid of my intros. I don't spend time telling you about how things are going on the farm or how my life is going, because it seems like people don't want to hear that anymore. They just want to hear, hey, I clicked on this video to hear about this radio or about how to do this particular repair or whatnot, and I don't really care about you. And that's a sad statement of where we are as a society, but it kind of got me thinking a little harder about all the friends that I've made here. Mower Junkie and 741 Rob over there, and gosh, so many guys. Johnny Jones, who I've never met in person, never talked to on the phone, but there he is. There's Dallas Rife. I've known him for years now. There's so many others. Jamaica Dog, and I could go on and on and on with names and probably fill a video with just the people that I interact with through comments. But I miss what we used to have. I miss telling you about myself and how my life is going and how I perceive the world around me. I miss all of that. I won't say it's blogger stuff, but I just miss the personal touch that YouTube used to have that seems to be gone. It seems to be fading out. So the question for you guys, I guess, is, do you want that in the videos? Do you want to see that more in the videos? Do you want me to stop halfway through a review and tell you about life, or start off with a video telling you about, what's going on here at the homestead? Or do you want to just keep it professional? It's something that's been on my mind, and I might just do this. I might just make videos where I do updates. I mean, this is the summer of 2026. The last time I did a live feed before last night was actually way back at Christmas. And I think back to 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and that's about where it filtered out. I used to do them every other week, at least once a month. We used to do the Midnight Cafe radio show, and so we had call-ins and stuff there. And so I felt a closer connection to a lot of you because I was able to communicate more directly, more personally. That said, I am going to try really hard, and I think I say this every time I do a live feed, to do more of them, to do some more sit-downs and just hanging out. Summer is, by the time this goes out, it'll be August, which is kind of painful to think about. But it's starting to wind down. The projects around here are starting to wind down. Obviously, this garage being the biggest one of the year. Major upgrades on solar panels, which we'll get those videos out to y'all later in the year. But we have moved even further off-grid, and I look forward to sharing that with you. Of course, we've done some reviews, and I got plenty more coming of that. Lots of cool radios came out this year. I'd say this is one of the best years for radios that I can remember in a good long time. And the farm continues. We got rid of a lot of the animals, and we focused just on gardening. And we've had an excellent year for food until the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to show a picture here of Brutus, and I might even be able to find a clip or two of Sally and her kiddo. And then there's this other guy that I don't even know what to call him, Goliath, I guess, he's as big as a brown bear. That these 3-4 bears, there's 3 bears and a baby, have they've become kind of a nuisance almost. I really have a live and let live approach when it comes to the wildlife around here. We know deer are going to get in and eat green beans, and chipmunks will ruin some of the low-hanging fruit and tomatoes and stuff. But this is something new. These bear are extremely destructive. They come right up to the house. They've damaged my vehicles. They kicked open or broke open the cellar door to our root cellar, and they've been going in there. Heck, he broke open a can of spray paint, and I'm sure covered himself in paint because the entire place is full of green paint right now. Didn't stop him from coming back the next night. And we're not leaving trash out of any kind, so it's not bad habit that he's forming. It's just, he's a bad boy. And the other ones are too. They ate all of our corn in one night, which was really unfortunate. And they've damaged a lot of the other plants. That being said, and I'm not here to complain about it, overall, the garden has done very well. We've got a lot of tomatoes and cucumbers, green beans, tons of like the little stuff. Like we got these small cantaloupe we were growing. We have 1 or 2 watermelon. We have some pumpkins, which we thought were watermelon seeds. It turned out to be pumpkins, which is cool. I love Halloween, so that'll work out just fine. And we've got some onions. The potatoes are already out. Garlic. I mean, we grow just about everything here. What didn't come out well this year was fruit and berries. So like we have a huge blueberry patch, and we got a late freeze, and it wiped them out. So like, you know, a handful of blueberries. Next year, I'm sure will be awesome, but this year's not so great. And same thing with the apples and the pears. There were so many buds, and then we got a really hard late freeze, which happens every couple of years, and it took out all but just a few apples. Oddly enough, we had 1 of the 3 peach trees. There's a pine tree that kind of shaded it, and I guess it protected it from the freeze. So we have 1 peach tree that's getting ready. I think another 2 or 3 weeks here, we'll have a whole bunch of peach for peach jam, stuff like that. Also, something I didn't review, but I picked up from my wife is a pressure canner, but it's like a digital one. And y'all have to let me know if you want to see how that thing works, but it is really cool. So we do a lot of canning here, obviously, between hunting in the winter and vegetables in the summer. And so usually it's on the stove. We got a gas stove, but you're running this thing forever, and it's just a big hassle. Jen found something online, and she said, I'm kind of interested in this. We watched a few videos on it and saw some reviews of it that said it worked pretty well. And so we picked this thing up, about the size of a canning pot, but it sits on the table. And unlike like a pressure cooker, this can do actual canning, like meat canning, the vegetables and stuff that normally need a higher pressure and higher temperatures and a longer time. So not like water bath canning like we do with some of the vegetables and fruits here. And it has worked really well. So we've been doing some of that as we go. And yeah, so it's been fun. As far as car projects on the Automotive channel, a lot of wrap-ups. I'm just about to put out maybe another 2 weeks or so. The last video on the 66 Beetle, as I speak, it's up for sale. In fact, I was just in town earlier today showing it to a nice gentleman. We took it for a nice drive, and he is going to bring his wife back and make a final decision on it. But that's been a great project. I had hoped to drive it around for a year or so. I put some miles on it, but just a few hundred. Man, this is weird. And this has to do too with the fact that I got rid of my Rabbit truck. My wife has suddenly become concerned that when I'm driving these old rot boxes, these old micro cars that I like, compact cars, she's worried in a world of Escalades and Suburbans that in a collision that I might fare very poorly in that. And she's not wrong. The problem is I think she said it one too many times, because now I'm starting to get nervous sometimes when I drive these vintage cars. You know how people are. No one pays attention on the road anymore. The kids are on their cell phones, the adults are on their cell phones, and no one's paying attention, and everyone's doing 20 over the speed limit. So it gets a little hairy out there. I did have 2 near misses with the Rabbit truck that kind of did put the fear of God into me a little bit, because that car, you were 100% the crumple zone, and same with the 66. So that's the parting ways with that. That being said, I'm not done with restorations and repairs, that's for sure. I am looking for, and this is going to be like, a what? On the one hand, I'm looking for like a late 90s Mazda Miata. I love a drop top. We had one before we moved up here. Little 5-speed Miatas, get great gas mileage, and they're fun. They're like little go-karts. On the other hand, I love weird and cheap. And there's the Geo Metro convertible, which was only made for like 3 years. And I'm totally down for trying to find one of those, do a little rehab. If I find one with a bad engine or needs a clutch or something like that, go ahead and do a rebuild series on it over on the Automotive channel, and then drive that for a year or two as like my commuter car. I still have the Mirages, but always nice to have something like that. So those are the things I'm looking for. A lot of people ask here on this channel and on the other channel and on the other channel and on the other channel about the bus project. So here is an update on the bus project. I did not film it because a lot of cursing, I'm sure, was what we thought was going to happen, but it turned out it actually wasn't so bad. We have installed the new tent, the topper for it, and installed all that. We have put the top back on. We just need to put the rack, the roof rack back on there. And then she's ready to roll back in now that the garage is done for the fall. I think I finally have all the pieces to finalize this project, but I will say we're looking at year like 4 on this bus project, and I figured it was going to be an 18-month project. Some of that's on me. We get distracted with life. I'm sure you guys do too. Some of that's on financial constraints. Just this thing, everything on this bus. It had been sitting, I don't know, I think it was like 12 years, 13 years. Everything on the bus needed to be replaced in order to make it road ready and safe, you know. So new brakes, new brake lines, new brake master cylinder, new power booster, new hoses, new lines, like you name it, all that. And then steering and suspension, all replaced. So all that added up, new tires, new rims. And the interior was in pretty darn good shape. So other than the tent, that one was probably the littlest job I had to do on it. Engine-wise, took the old engine out, sold it for parts, because those Type 4 engines are a bit rare. Got and rebuilt the Subaru engine that's going to go in it. Got the harness done, got an exhaust, got an adapter plate, got a new clutch. I mean, I've got all the parts. Put a new gas tank in it, new pumps, everything. So we're ready to go back together. It's just that I'm a bit discouraged by the size of that project. It always seems easier to me, like when I look at it, to be like, I really need to, and then I'm like, oh, but let me just do this when it's quicker and it's faster. You ever felt that way? I'd love to hear if you ever run into that problem in life. Obviously, living on a farm, living on a homestead, an off-grid one too at this point, it gets a little tough to find projects that you can get done in a reasonable amount of time when they start stacking up like they have here on our farm. So the good news is the lower barn's done, the middle barn's done. We've purged the ever-loving bejesus out of this place this summer. I took 4 or 5 truckloads to the trash, probably sold another 4 or 5 truckloads on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So it's been kind of I think people need to do it. You live in a house more than 10 years, you just accumulate stuff, you know? And it's all cool stuff, but after a while it just starts to rule and dominate your life. So this was the summer of purge, and I'll take the camera here when I'm done yapping and I'll show you around real quick. But like I said, if you want to see what the garage looks like, go to the Automotive channel and check it out. And the last channel, the Mower channel, it's been the disappointment, I'm sure, for some of you this year. A lot of the videos I've put out, even over the summer, have been reruns, have been videos from back in like 2017, 2018 from here on this channel that I've kind of used technology to AI enhance, like get the video quality up, and chopped out some of the not necessary stuff in there to kind of tighten them up a bit. But that channel, I love fixing and flipping mowers. That being said, I haven't had a chance to touch a mower in 6 or 7 months at this point. And that is an unfortunate thing, but time. You know, years ago, we talked about time, like when I moved up here, why I quit my job, why I moved to the mountains to become a farmer. And then I made a follow-up at 5 years. And if this video gets enough positive response or even negative response, if it gets people's eyes on it and they're actually interested in this stuff or tell me they are, I'd be happy to make a follow-up of what it's like after 12 years up here, because a lot has changed and not all of it has been positive. To sum it up in the briefest way, I think it's possible for all of us to bring the jail with us, if you know what I mean. I talked about breaking free from that job while it was a good paying job and it was a positive job. And I had friends there and everything. It felt like going to prison every day after a while, because we're in this loop of where we're doing the same stuff every day. And coming up here changed that so much and made my life so much more wide open. Some of the downsides, and I ran into this in Raleigh years ago, of being self-employed here at the house, with a variety of small jobs that I do here, is that you're never off the clock anymore. There's always something going on. A car that needs to be repaired, repairs to the property. Hey, I got to go post 70 things on eBay today to get rid of them. Facebook Marketplace, people want to come to the house and check this out or check that out. So it kind of soaks up some of the free time that I used to have here to do what I want to do, which is the homesteading. And most of you know, not all of you know, but most of you know, I also work full-time now in town as well. I have for a couple of years now, since right before COVID, so a good while. And that was not something I tended to do. I was going to work part-time in town, and I did for the first couple of years I was up here. I had a job opportunity came along, and it was a way to help out younger folks that are looking for a hand up in life. And so I figured doing a little bit of God's work, if you know what I mean there. So I figured I'd do that. That has also spiraled because I'm not somebody, my wife says I'm all or nothing. And she's right. So I put all into that job. I put all into this job. I try to put all into the homestead. And there's just not that much all to go around. So it's gotten a bit snug there. Anyway, I'm totally rambling. Let me pause the camera for a second. I'll give you a quick pan of the new and improved shop here, Farpoint Restorations and Repairs, or I just call it Farpoint Restorations now. But hey, I've enjoyed catching up with you this summer. I would like to start doing more live shows. What I'm looking for, what I'm asking for, if the three of you that are still watching all the way through the end of this, if you want me to make more me videos, and if you want me to make more live shows and hang out with you more often, I'm happy to do so, but I need to hear you, because for the longest time, it's comments on the products that I'm showing off or talking about Skip or radio in general, but it's not really about us. And I think Johnny Jones at Home, if I can throw him a bone, like he's got a great channel also on CB, but he also does some other stuff. And now he also has a second channel as well. He really got the ball rolling in my brain, the one marble I have left up there, about how much has changed and how much I think I miss that from the old YouTube, because this YouTube just seems sterile. Sometimes it feels bland. It just seems like a job instead of what it was meant to be, which is a hobby and a way to connect with y'all. Let me show you the shop. All right, so here we are, and you can see a lot changed from the old days. Here's a picture of what it looked like before, and forgive my pigsty that I had there. And then as we come across, you can see a lot has changed. I painted the floors, I painted the walls. I actually did a lot more. If you watch the video on the other channel, I went through and pulled every panel out of this place and insulated behind every single one of these with R15, then put it back up, then painted it, and then moved stuff around to make it, nice and clean. As far as the toolboxes go, I got rid of some of them. I try to lighten the load a bit. I don't work on everything anymore, so it's not really worth having the whole bank that I had here. It takes up space. The shop is, I love it, but it sometimes gets a bit snug when you're working on more than one project at a time. So I got rid of the other box, the roll cart and the side cabinet, and sent those on the way through Facebook Marketplace. And then I painted up the table that I had over there, got the nice metal top on it. So over here, got rid of the mess that was in that corner there. And I got the little entertainment system. Instead of just having it the way it was, I painted it up, make it look a little cleaner. And I got, you can see I hung some of the stuff so it's just not laying around on the floor. My little creeper from Vivor and a little platform from Vivor. The sandblaster I would like to move, but I can't move it yet. And that's, I just don't have the space. I have a place that I want to put it. It's just not ready for it yet. So it stays in here, but eventually I'd like that to go, and it'll kind of open up that area. So when you pull a car in over there, you can open the doors and get in here. And so that's the way it is. But all right, so lastly, I kind of made the car care center over here. Put my wiper blades, and then I've got a bunch of stuff. Some of this stuff, that white bottle in the corner, to give you an idea about the hoarderisms, I got that when I was 16 for my first car. It's whatever that, like super slick stuff you put on vinyl and dashes and stuff like that. Still got it. And this is all stuff that's like car wash and stuff like that. A bunch of random bits and whatever. Then over here, we've talked about this before, I've got tons of chemicals and whatnot. And at some point you just, I wanted to make it look better. So I kind of gave the whole place this Craftsman theme, went ahead and did some repair work on the King circulator stove and got it ready for winter. And I even painted the wood box over here where I store my firewood and stuff, and just cleaned it up. I used to have a tote where the little seat is right now that was full of scrap wood to get fire started. And I was tripping over it all the time when I had a car in here to work on. So I'm happy to see that go away. And I still got the Harbor Freight lift. I even went ahead just to try to make it look prettier and painted the running boards here to get the low hanging cars in the air. And I still have one or two. The Mirages will clear this by itself, but surprisingly, the minivan that we have, the Toyota Sienna, will not. So I still have to drive up on those with that. Yeah, so that's it, my friends. I guess that's gonna do it, man. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this little kind of catching up video, this roundup of 2026 video, and I really, really, really look forward to hearing what you got going on, what your comments are. Till next time, my friends, take care.